Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready to fall in love. Boys were singing shing-a-ling the summer that we met. You were 10 and 17. How could I forget? I was shy to kiss you while the whole wide world could see. So shing-a-ling said everything to me. The way we danced was not a dance, but more a long embrace. Held on to each other and floated there in space. I was shy to kiss you while the whole wide world could see. So shing-a-ling said everything to me. And all the poor old folks, they thought we'd lost our minds. They could not make heads or tails of the young folks' funny rhymes. You and I knew all the words, and we always sang along to old Sham-a-ling dong ding, Sham-a-ling dang dong. Happy Friday night, date night, people. I don't know. Those of you on YouTube, you might notice I got myself a little microphone. I'm a professional. I'm a professional now. Look at this thing. Now, if it sounds like crap, that's because I don't know how to set it up. Cindy Kuhn is first. Cindy Kuhn, look at my microphone. Hello. We can do ASMR now. Hi. I got a doggy. I think I'd be pretty good at that. You know what I'm saying? Why are you getting so rammy? Why are you so rammy, Champy? If you haven't, it's Friday night date night. Go get your nachos. Put them in the air fryer. Little 3 or 4 cheese combo right on top of there with some jalapenos out of the can. You know, get your hot pocket heating up in that dirty microwave. Let's get this show on the road. I have some Kirkland sparkling water because I know how to live. Pinkies out because we're classy. That's fantastic. It's going to make me a little gassy. What you got going? Oh, a little Kirkland. Nice. Producer Brandon.
Unofficial sponsor.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. Oh, man. So I'm a little discombobulated. I'm not used to having a microphone in my face, but this will be good for comedy, you know, lean in for comedic effect. You know, I don't really know about this whole AI learning lab thing. Who is this Kyle Shannon? Who's that? You know, right? It's going to be good. It's going to be fantastic. All right. All right, what do we got going here? Let me get things lined up. Everything's different. Everything's different. You know, it's funny with ADD. Like, when you have ADD, you kind of live for the chaos, right? Except for shit like how my setup is. Like, for example, let me show you something. This is fucking hilarious. Okay. So, for 2 years, for 2 years, this was the stand that I put my LED light on. It was a cardboard box, and there's nothing in it, so it's all light. It's completely unstable, right? And my little LED light sat here. Now, sitting right next to this was a little microphone tripod I've had for like 10 years. So for 2.5 years, this was my light stand. And now, look, I'm professional. ADD's fucking weird, man. You got some, I must have some OCD mixed in there. Oh my God. It's all comedy all the time here at the AI Learning Lab. All right. So I was playing around with GPT-5. How do you share the output? You can, so in ChatGPT, with any chat that you have, let me go grab a chat I did. Casual conversation. Marketing email for Pharma. This was actually really impressive. I'll show you this in a second here. So right up here, this upper right-hand corner. Oh, wait. Share your tabs. Share your tabs, Kyle. Be a professional. Uh-oh. What did I just do? Uh-oh. What did I do? Hang on. Hang on, people. We just had a malfunction. Calm down. Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. Can you still hear me in the little microphone here? Okay. I just lost my monitor. We're going to be okay, people. It's going to be okay. Oh my God. I should not be left to my own devices for any kind of professional situation. Okay, anyway, what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted with technology, in the upper right-hand corner of Jan, here, let me move this a little bit. We'll do it like right there. Right here, it says share. You can share that. Now, the thing to be careful with is if you share your chat, it is not at all clear to me if you're just sharing it with the people you're sharing it with, or if it's actually available for everyone to go discover it. So just be careful with it. All right. This is off to a good start. Tik Tok Pin. 370 chats were published to a public URL. Yeah, 370,000 chats were published to a public URL today by XAI. Yeah. So that share button with XAI today, yeah, shared them all publicly. And then I heard a similar sort of thing with ChatGPT. So there you go. All right. Oh, lordy. Since we're here, So I discovered all sorts of weird things today. The difference between teams. So I've got a Teams account for my content evolution role. And in the Teams account, you've got instant ChatGPT-5. You've got thinking. You've got pro, and then you have your legacy models. Now, the legacy models don't show anything beyond GPT-4o. Let me just make sure that I don't have them, that I have it turned on. Yeah, I've got show additional models turned on, and it only shows GPT-4o, but it does give me pro. Okay. If I go to my personal account, I also up here have Thinking Mini, which is actually my favorite model lately. I do not have Pro, which makes sense. But then my legacy models, I have 4 of them. I've got 4.0, 4.1, 03, and 04 Mini. I don't care about those other ones, but it's weird. I wonder, actually, now that I think about it, sometimes ChatGPT turning things on and off, show additional models, turn it off. I go here. All right, then I got 4.0. Let me come back in here. Turn it back on. I bet they show up now. Nope. So the legacy models don't show up in Teams. And Thinking Mini does not show up in Teams, but Pro does. So I don't know what the hell. All right. So go figure. One of the things that I talked about today on office hours, by the way, we had a really fun office hours today because Jim Ross, who's got his own community of self-storage entrepreneurs who he's teaching how to use AI, he said, "Hey, my meeting ends right before yours starts. Do you mind if I bring a bunch of people over?" So he brought over a bunch of people, and we had a really good office hours today. But in all 3 of my I have 3 AI meetings in a row on Fridays. I've got my content evolution collab, I've got office hours, and then I've got the AI mastermind, the AI Salon Mastermind. In all 3 of those conversations, I kind of, tested the waters for like, who's got GPT-5 figured out? And no one. Everyone is sort of feeling a little discombobulated. I have not recombobulated yet around ChatGPT-5. It just feels awkward, and I don't quite know how it works, and I don't quite know which model to use when. And so if you're feeling a little out of sorts because of ChatGPT-5, don't forget we've had GPT-4 since March of 2023. And so it's been more than 2 years where we've gotten acclimated to how that model worked. So if this new one feels weird, that should be expected. Now, GPT-6, I think, is going to come out before the end of the year. Grok 5 is going to come out before the end of the year. Grok 6 might come out before the end of the year. So depending on which tool you're using, Gemini keeps releasing new stuff. We're going to have a lot of adapting to get used to, a lot of adapting to do. Vicky, fun office hours indeed. Oh, yours went even more off the rails today, your ChatGPT? Yeah, it's just weird. It's weird. The other thing is, one of the things that Altman said, I don't know, a week or 2 ago, is that their GPU usage is like they do not have enough GPUs to handle. They have 700 million users on a weekly basis. And the stuff that we're playing with, if you've noticed, image generation has gotten really slow. They don't show the preview anymore. I think they have things quite throttled down right now. So if you're seeing inconsistencies and weirdness, it's because they're overloaded. Vicky, it was awful. It kept pulling conversations that had nothing to do with the project folder it was in. Oh yeah. Yeah, projects are weird right now too. If you don't know about projects, they're incredibly powerful. You can basically group a bunch of chats into a project, and then it'll just talk about those chats. But ChatGPT also has access to all of your other conversations, so it doesn't seem to have good boundary control. you know, like that ex-girlfriend you had didn't have good boundary control. That's ChatGPT projects. Rationing of GPU clock cycles. Something like that. You know, they're either rationing the GPUs or just. I think what's probably more likely is they've got sort of levels of thinking that they can move up and down. So they're probably not doing it on a GPU by GPU basis, but they're probably doing it on, you know, kind of features, what the thing can actually do. So my guess is that ChatGPT is a lot dumber right now than it'll feel when they have enough GPUs. But I don't know. That's just Chat TMZ. Chat TMZ. All right. What else you got going there, people? Oh yeah, it's on Twitter if anyone wants to sympathize. Oh, you posted it on Twitter? That's good. That's good. The guy last night I showed this guy Fernando, who's a musician in LA, and he's he's been playing with Suno, right? He puts his songs in it. Well, he's put out a bunch more videos, and his LA Moon, I think was the name of the song. The original video that he did, that video has gone viral. He's gotten a whole bunch of hate from AI haters that are like, "You're evil. You're in bed with the devil doing this AI stuff." And he's just like, "Hey, man, it's the future. Like, this is really cool technology," and he keeps being impressed by it. So we can go look at a couple more of those if you want to tonight. Brian Whitney, someone in the building. Someone is building a huge data center here in northeastern Pennsylvania. That's interesting. Techie Becky, I love getting my Friday night entertainment right here. That's right. Let me tell you something, people. This is a public service announcement right here. You don't need Netflix. You don't need Paramount Plus. You don't need Hulu. Hulu. You don't need any of that. You come to the AI Learning Lab. You get you some learning. You get you some entertainment. You got it all right here. Good Lord, people. You think you got to pay those Hollywood executives their high bonus salaries to create crap, import movies from Sweden? You just come right here. I got a microphone now. You don't think this is professional? You think this is just a crappy home office? You don't even know the sound stage we got here. It's astounding. This is all just a curved LED screen. You think those are actual shelves? All right. I don't think that was funny, but thank you for the whatever that was on my head. API is application protocol interface. It is. An API basically allows one piece of software to talk to another piece of software. So here, a good way to describe an API is, let's say I'm creating a mobile app, and in that mobile app, I want to have a map function, right? So I can, people can find my business. Well, I could program an entire map application and launch my own satellites and, spend the next 3 years, 5 years creating a solid map application. Or I could say, Google's already done this. Why don't I just use their API? And then basically what happens is you get a special key from Google and you put it in your app, and then you just make a little box and you say, stick Google's map here. And then it does it. So that's kind of the That's kind of the thing. It allows software developers to share what they've created and make money on it, right? Every time you use the little Google Map application, they get, a hundredth of a penny or whatever it is. And over enough of those, they make a fortune. Yeah, it's in the software stack. I finally got so frustrated with chat's memory, I deleted it all, and it still doesn't forget. Huh. Well, wait, but Tom, so in order to delete it all, okay, so there's a couple of things. Let's go look at memory. So if you wanted to really get rid of your chat memory, there's a couple of things you'd have to do. So let's go into settings. Turtle image generation didn't work. Oh, that's interesting. Let's go into data controls. So improve the model for everyone. So this means it's sharing my data. Interesting. So I just turned, oh, I'm not sharing, am I? Yeah, I am. Wait. Yeah, I am. Okay. Okay, I just turned off model improvement. So model improvement, this sends data to OpenAI. I just turned that off. I had that on. And I'd turned that off before. So that's one that they probably, when they updated to 5, they're like, let's just reset everyone's preferences. Remove browser data. Let the agent mode remote browser reuse cookies between sessions. All right, that's fine. I'm fine with that. But if you want to higher security, okay, share links, archive chats. So the debt management guidance. I guess you can archive. Okay, you can archive all chats. You can export data. Security, multi-factor authentication, secure sign-in with chat. And then let's go to personalization. So in personalization, you've got reference chat history, which I had turned off. You've got reference record history. What's that? Oh, record history. Let ChatGPT reference all previous recording transcripts. I guess that's advanced voice. And I had reference chat history turned off. I'm going to turn that back on. So you could just turn off both of these without deleting stuff. The other thing you can do is manage your memories. So these are the explicit memories. So there's two different kinds of memory in ChatGPT. There's the explicit memory where you say, I want you to remember this. And then there's it remembering all of your chat histories. And you can turn those on and off on personalization. So Tom, you might want to just try turning off both of those and see if that helps. TikTok gifts from Lord Digital Gods. Thank you, sir. Thank you, kind sir. Always appreciated. So for you YouTubers, does this audio sound better? Does it sound too hot? Is the mic too hot? Is my voice annoying? You're like, we were better when we couldn't hear you. I sound a bit tinny. I bet that's because that's too loud. Test, test, test. How's that? Is that better? Testing, testing, test, 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 test. Audio sounds good. Yes. Okay. So I was clipping. Hang on. Let me actually go over to this software. Hello, test, test, test. Okay. Now I'm not clipping. All right. There we go. All right. I'm a professional. You liked it before. Okay. All right. There's somewhere between where I was before and where I was now. What's up, Champy? Hang on. Hold, please. Champy lacked a little confidence. He was hopping up on the bed. He was a little scaredy cat. He was a scaredy dog. All right. So let me show you a prompt that I did today that was really quite good. Marketing email for pharma. Okay. Beauty. That's good. All right. Let's see. I saw Champ's relative yesterday. I'll post in Irregulars. That's cool. Okay. So today I was having a talk with my co-founder at Storyvine, and we were talking about marketing. And one of the things going on in the pharma industry, which is, it's going on everywhere, but there's a lot going on in pharma right now, is big pharma companies are doing like big cuts. They're doing like $3 billion restructurings, and they're, defunding, budgets for certain brands, and, prioritizing their core brands and deprioritizing other brands. There's all sorts of stuff going on. And, historically, what we would try to do is navigate to the companies and the brands that had bigger budget, right? And we would try to avoid the the chaos. And what hit me today was, well, wait a minute. What if we leaned into the fact that that these pharma companies are going through tough times, and we market Storyvine, because Storyvine's a really efficient video creation tool. And so what if we leaned into it? And I thought, oh, maybe ChatGPT could help us identify like either who are the companies or what are the trends or things like that. So I put it in GPT-5 Thinking Mini, which is my new favorite model. And then I put it in, did I do deep research? I think I did do deep research. Does it say? Yeah. I don't remember if it was deep research or just turned on the web search, but it was one of them. But I wrote, I want you to write me up a marketing email that targets pharma. This was a bit of a chain of consciousness, stream of consciousness kind of prompt. This isn't very well written, not very well structured. But ChatGPT doesn't really seem to care about that. You give it a bunch of context and it figures the shit out. I want you to write me up a marketing email that targets pharmas that may have had recent cuts or layoffs where cost cutting is more obvious. And I want to position Storyvine as an alternative. Think something like, just because budgets have been slashed doesn't mean you need to give up video. Or if your sales force has been reduced, what if you could triple their effectiveness with personal promotion? And then I put, these subjects are not literal suggestions, but the kind of positioning I'm looking for, right? So just tell it, don't copy me exactly, because if you don't say that, it'll just copy you exactly. It won't think. And then I had this further thought. Why don't you do some research and identify the kinds of pharma scenarios where this kind of positioning could make sense, categorize them, and write a marketing position for each category with an example email per category. And then I said, go. And it thought for 24 seconds. And this was the first response. This was my first response. I find this just astounding. That's probably a little too big, but that's a little better for TikTok. So it says, you want a crisp, deployable email copy and strategic positioning that leads into the reality pharma marketers are living in right now. And so it did some research. And then so quick evidence snapshot. And these all have citations. Layoffs and workforce reductions across biopharma continued into 2025 with thousands of roles cut. Industry-wide cost pressure is being driven by drug pricing and reimbursement debates. Pharma is actively shifting to omni-channel and digital-first HCP engagement, which that leans right into us. Personalized video and short-form video perform significantly better than generic content, which leans right into us. So two of the trends that it found are right in the pipeline of Storyvine. And then here's the categories it found. Category A, sales force reductions, commercial team slowdown. Here's the scenario. Here's the positioning. Turn every remaining rep into a high leverage content engine, personalized compliant video outreach that multiplies touch points and preserves the human connection. Like, this is right out of our positioning, which it might have pulled out of our positioning. Key benefits to the client, subject line options, right? So here's subject lines. And then here's an email example. Subject, pre-header, there's your email. Here's your little bullet points. There's your call to action, right? P.S. We can spin up a 60-second personalized sample video. Category B, marketing budget squeezes. And then same thing for that. Category C, mergers, acquisitions, or major restructuring. There's a whole category for that. Category D, launches or life cycle management. A whole category for that. Category E, regulatory or pricing pressure. Right? And so because it's got memory, it knows what Storyvine is. It knows what our value prop is. And then there's wrap up and next steps. So this was in the 3 minutes I had in between calls. You know, I had a conversation with my partner, and she was like, "Oh, maybe see if you can write up an email." And so I wrote this prompt, and like bang, 24 seconds later, or maybe it was 30 because it took 6 seconds to write this. So that is an example to me where ChatGPT-5 significantly outperformed, 4. It just went deeper. The writing's really good. The thought's really good. And that's just the mini model. Again, this thinking mini model for me has been pretty damn good. So anyway, thoughts, questions? La da 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 da. Oh, I got to do black bar. That's horrible. All right. Side hustle meeting. Sorry, did I ever tell you guys about the time I checked into a hotel in New Mexico? One of two. What does the agent in ChatGPT do? I haven't tried it yet. Okay, so this is really cool. Well, let me see. ChatGPT agent isn't really cool. It's going to be really cool when it doesn't suck. And the only reason it sucks right now, the thing I mentioned earlier that ChatGPT is completely overloaded right now. They don't have enough GPUs. And so the agent capability is really slow. Sometimes it just craps out. Sometimes it doesn't finish its thing. But I'll do a little demo here and we can go play with it. But in a nutshell, what agent does, think of ChatGPT kind of has 3 basic modes. The first mode is just regular ChatGPT mode. So when you flip into, 2 of 2. They gave me a complimentary plate of nachos upon check-in. It was weird. Like I had luggage. That's really funny. Oh my God. Yeah. Some middle manager there at that hotel was like, I got an idea. You know how what is the one that gives you a cookie? You know how they got warm chocolate chip cookies? We're gonna one up them. We're going nachos. I'm talking jalapeno peppers, the cheese sauce. It's gonna be awesome. How do people get it up to their room? They just balance it on their luggage. It'll be awesome. Okay. All right. Here we go. Is this better? That's a little easier to read, right? Yeah, that's good. Except it puts me in the middle of everything. All right, whatever. Okay. ChatGPT agent. So before I get in and demo agent, there's kind of three different modes with large language models. There's the basic single chat response. You put in a prompt, you get out an answer. So when you choose the instant model in ChatGPT, let me make a new chat here and just say, make me a poem about hotel nachos. You put that in and it, here's a little ode to hotel nachos, and then out it comes, right? You put in a thing, you get out an answer. The second primary mode of ChatGPT is this thinking mode. And that is, you put in a prompt and it thinks about it for a little bit, and what it's doing is it's actually prompting itself internally, going, well, the user asked me for a poem and what should I do? And so let me create a new chat here. We'll do it in Thinking Mini. Write me a poem about nachos. Now, this may or may not kick off much thinking, but let's see. Oh, I just about nacho. So there it says thinking. It thought for a couple of seconds and then it wrote a poem. So that's not a really good example, but that's kind of mode 2. And then mode 3 is this agent mode. And what happens in agent mode is it takes that thinking model and it basically gives it its own virtual computer. And so it literally creates like a screen where it can do a bunch of things with tools. So it can think, it can come up with a plan. So you tell it to go do some research, it comes up with a plan, and then it starts to execute that plan, and it has access to tools. And so one of the tools it has access to is it can surf the web. It can actually use its vision to like look at websites and click on them. The other thing it can do is it can use deep research to go look at a bunch of websites and get all the data from them. The other thing it can do is it can write and execute Python code and do math and create, its own tools to accomplish whatever goals you gave it. So the way you kick this thing off, I'll put it into full thinking mode. We'll go new chat. And then you click plus here and you've got agent mode. Notice I've got 36 left that will reset on August 23rd. So tomorrow my thing's reset. So I should probably play with them tonight. So we're going to put it into agent mode. And then you can turn on different sources if you want to, but I'm just going to have web search on is fine. And then I'm going to say, go research cost-cutting activity in major pharma companies. No, we'll just say in the pharma industry. Analyze what you find. Present this as key trends that a company like Storyvine could exploit, and make me a presentation I can share with my co-founder for new go-to-market strategy. All right. And so now I kick that off. And so it says setting up my desktop. I'm going to make this a little smaller so you can see. Absolutely, Kyle. I'll research the most recent cost-cutting activities, blah, blah, blah. It basically restates what I did. But now, okay, so notice this blue thing. I'm starting a text string-based search. And so it's now off. It's now off using deep research to to find activity. And this blue bar around it, this is the virtual computer that it's spun up. It's spun up what's called a container, where inside that blue box, it's like you've got a whole separate computer, but ChatGPT is the one out surfing the web. You don't have to do it. It's just off doing it. All right. Find activity means what? I don't know. I mean, because I asked it to go find activity. That was part of my prompt. Analyze. Let's see. Go research cost-cutting activity. So what this thing does, I should be able to. There we go. So along the bottom of this window is a little slider. And what this is this is actually tracking the history in this window. So you can actually go in. So the first thing it does, I'm going to research cost-cutting activities. And then you can kind of slide this thing forward and you see what it does. So it's basically recording all of its activity. Now, some of these things, like this, may take 10 or 15 minutes. And I don't have to tell it what to do. Like, it's out finding this stuff. And one of the things that it will often do is it'll create like a plan of, here's the things I'm going to do. And then as it finds things, sometimes it'll update that plan and realize, oh, I should change this to go in a different order. And then I should do this. And based on what I found, I'm going to do this. But what this is doing is I can now go just spin up a separate ChatGPT window, and this thing will just keep going. Kyle, can you test LinkedIn? Give me the best marketing context based on a job title. I can. Let me try that as a new window. I'll have to log into my own ChatGPT, which means I'm going to have to find my own passwords. my own passwords. So I might need to. Brandon, just wait. Can you have it make you a dinner reservation? I am so sick of the dinner reservation thing. Let me see if I can get LinkedIn up. I'm gonna have to log into it. But go ahead and share my screen, Brandon, and then the minute it kicks me over to log in, then just turn it off. There you go. Okay. So I've put it in agent mode, and then what did you say? Test LinkedIn. Give me the best marketing context based on job title. Okay. Help me identify pharma marketers with major launch brands that help me identify pharma marketers with titles of decision making authority on LinkedIn. Let's see, on my LinkedIn. So that should kick us over to log in on my LinkedIn. Who work for major launch brands that recently launched or will launch in 2026. Put the names, links, and contact info into a spreadsheet. Okay. So I'm going to fire that off. And then we can flip back over to this other one. And this is still going. So, like, I don't know what it's doing. It's still doing research. Which, one of the things that is absolutely mind-blowing, if you haven't played with, there's other tools that you can play with that have this similar functionality. One is called Manus, manus.im, Manus. There's another one called GenSpark, GenSpark. Both of those are agentic kind of research tools. GenSpark in particular is really good. It's fast, it's well designed, and it has a lot of features. The ChatGPT one is janky and slow right now. They just launched it, and it's kind of crap. So if you want to see a good one, go to GenSpark. Manus is also really quite good. It's just not as pretty. But these things are going to get very, very capable. In 2026, these agents are going to be able to go do sort of remarkable amounts of stuff. They'll do it very, very quickly, because even ChatGPT can spin up 10 separate agents on its own. It may decide, hey, this is going too slow. I want to go do things in parallel. So these things are going to get quite amazing. All right, let's see. Understood. I'll conduct research. Okay, let's see. I'm waiting while LinkedIn. Oh, okay. So this is interesting. Because I'm logged into LinkedIn here. It looks like I'm logged in to this LinkedIn right here. So it's got access to my LinkedIn, which is cool. That's the other thing. There's a Perplexity now has a browser, and Perplexity, it's called Perplexity Comet. And what's cool about Perplexity Comet is it can do this kind of agentic work as well. And any tab that you've logged into, it can access any tab. It can basically go outside of its tab, which this is as well, because I've given it permissions to be able to do that. Yeah, God, yeah, they make the data slippery. This is the other thing to know about these agentic things is privacy and security are, assume that they're garbage because they're garbage, but assume that, like, don't put anything in these things that is not stuff that if it went out to everyone you'd be okay with. If it's anything less than that, you should be careful. Oh, this is really cool what it just said there. I don't know quite how to go back, but it basically found this woman, Jessica, and it said she's a second degree connection for you. So it's identifying people that either, I'm not connected with. It's at least aware of who I'm connected with. It's pretty amazing. All right. Okay, TikTok is about to die soon, isn't it? Maybe. I don't know. The White House just started a TikTok account like last week, and they left their comments on. and and democracy is is taking advantage of that particular little fact. I don't know. Trump said he liked TikTok, so maybe it sticks around for a while. I don't know. It does look like they're changing their community guidelines sometime this month, and any of the political TikTok channels look like they're just going to get decimated. So whatever. I think we'll be fine, but I don't know. Like, the reason I dual cast on YouTube and on TikTok is for precisely this. If it goes away, it goes away. Some people like TikTok, some people like YouTube. So, but I've got more followers on TikTok, so we'll just keep doing it like this for a while. Something happened in this TikTok streaming media since last time I watched. Some people's moved. I don't know what that means. Block. All right. Let's go look at the other agent. Is it still doing its thing? Still doing its thing. How video training is revolutionizing Pharma 4.0. All right. Let's see. We can go. Oh, you know it might be fun. Let's go watch some videos of what's his name. TikTok, Fernando. All right. Let's see. He does a rock and roll song. I turned my guitar into an orchestra, testing Suno with my most complicated song. Tested Suno with an anti-AI protest song. Let's do the orchestra one. Hopefully he talks a little louder here. Oh, wait.
Is that he was completely quadriplegic.
Hang on.
All right, another test for Suno. Waltz for Doug. I was born and raised in Miami, Florida. I went to Miami Beach Senior High School. We had a teacher named Doug Burris who taught classical guitar ensemble, recording studio class, and a thing called rock ensemble. The thing that's crazy about Doug is that he was completely quadriplegic because of multiple sclerosis. He could only move his head and taught.
Let me give you context of this if you weren't here last night. So this guy's a working songwriter and music producer in LA. And 2 days ago, he posted a video about, my job is in jeopardy. He basically discovered Suno's ability to take one of his songs and completely produce it. And so rather than hiding from that, he's been kind of leaning into it and learning what it makes possible and testing it and doing it publicly. One of the things that I talk about all the time is play with these tools and learn out loud. Share what you're learning. He's gotten a lot of hate for this, but he's also he's establishing himself as a thoughtful musician who may not like this, but he's also like, these tools are remarkable and they're not going away. So why would I not learn them? Which, this is what he's doing is very much in the spirit of this channel. You can hate this shit, just don't ignore it. And that's kind of where he is. He's like, he says, I'm a combination of offended and impressed, right? And that's where a lot of this stuff is.
Us by telling us what to do. He taught thousands of students for 40 years, and he was amazing. And when my dad passed away, he became my second father. I wrote this song for him. It's called Waltz for Doug. It's a classical guitar composition. I would like Suno to turn it into an orchestral thing. So here we go.
Can you hear this on YouTube? Oh yeah, your YouTube is coming through the thing. Champy singing.
All right, let's see what it does. Hit instrumental, string, quartet.
Who's he playing a guitar, Champy? Did you like that?
Classical, no guitar. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, 11 Mississippi. 11 seconds. Motherfucker. Today's test.
Motherfucker.
All right, another test. All right, for my next test of Suno, let's.
Hey, why does it keep changing?
Hi, I'm Fernando. All right, another test. Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, 11 Mississippi. 11 seconds. Motherfucker. I bow down to you, Suno.
That's such an honest dual reaction. So I talk about in the stages of AI adoption, stage 3 is this stage of wonder and fear combined. So his initial response is motherfucker, because he doesn't think Suno can do the classical music thing, right? He's tested it on rock, and so he's like, but I'm sure it can't do classical. And then it does, motherfucker. And then he's like, I bow down to you, Suno. Like, he doesn't know what they're doing. He doesn't know how they're doing it, but he's like, holy shit, here's this new thing, right? I'm both offended and impressed. And that's, if you're not feeling that weird pull, you're probably not deep enough. You probably haven't, sort of peeled back the onion enough about your own personal work and the things you care about. Like, he clearly, this is his life, right? And so this is fairly existential stuff. Someone made the comment here. I don't know if it's Side Hustle Mimi. Someone made the comment here about, why are people resisting this so much? There's already so much technology out there that does a lot of this stuff in music. There's something different about, this is, for him to produce that song traditionally, he would have to go find musicians, or he would have to, orchestrate it himself and use MIDI tools and things like that. This is 11 seconds after him playing some crappy notes on the guitar. It turned into this. So it's just the fact that it's generating music. It's not just processing our inputs. It's actually generating new stuff is what's freaking people out, because he knows how long it would take to produce that track traditionally.
I wonder what Doug would have thought of this. That's pretty good. My God, I wrote this when I was 17.
I wrote this when I was 17. So he wrote that little thing when he was 17. This is one of the things when you watch Timbaland, who's a music producer, he's got a video of his first experience with this, and he has a similar sort of reaction. He's like, wait a minute. Like, after he sort of processes what's happening, he goes, wait a minute. That means I could take any little song fragment I have and explore it, right? And I could explore it quickly. Tik Tok Pin. I don't understand with how all the technology exists that people are still resisting. They're still scared of AI. Yeah, just because it's here's a thing that I could be very off base with this. One of the things I hear a lot in the AI salon when people first start playing with AI is that they feel guilty that the thing that they can now do in 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, that they know should have taken them 3 hours or 3 days. Now it's just done, that they feel guilty. Um, I I personally feel like there's an overhang from the Industrial Revolution that time equals money. That in order for something to have value, you have to put hours into it. It has to have toil in it. I think in the creative world, that's a trope that is particularly true. I've got to suffer for my art, right? We talk about suffering for your art. I think that's a very Industrial Revolution mentality. And so I think the initial instinct of I feel like I'm cheating, I feel guilty, this feels like cheating, is because I shouldn't be able to create something of this perceived value in this little amount of time. And so I think the AI resistance and fear, part of it is that gap, that it just shouldn't be that easy. And if it's that easy, what is my value? Right? So it's not just that the product may or may not have value. It's that, well, wait a minute. If my value is in the time I put in to produce this stuff, what am I worth now that this stuff can just be done instantly, right? That's the kind of stuff that he's confronting right now. TikTok question: do you know all of the content ownership issues with Suno? Can you explain? I am not an IP attorney at all. I have opinions on this. Okay, couple of things. First of all, you need to go read the Suno terms of service. Um, because I think my co-founder just went and read them, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, because we were wondering about the rights for using these for video projects. What they basically say is you can do anything you want with this music, but if someone sues you, that's on you. Okay? So they are severing themselves for any liability. Now, the thing about these tools, Suno won't let you say, "Give me a song that sounds like the Eagles." It'll block um that generation. But you could go into ChatGPT, for example, and say, "Describe in detail this specific song from the Eagles," as if I were explaining it to a music producer. And then you could take that over there and you could generate a song that sounds like Hotel California, right? So if you're using these tools to produce content that is directly trying to sound like copywritten works, you may get banged for that. Now, that's likely not the direct question you're asking about, but it's an important thing that if you push these tools into copyright infringing territory, then you're infringing copyright, and you may get sued. The bigger question is this. The first one is, how did they train these models? Did they train these models on copywritten work? Almost 100% guaranteed that they trained these models on copywritten work. Almost 100% guaranteed. Now, the next question is, how does it produce what it produces? Is it copying and pasting from those original works? And the answer there is no. And that's one of the things that people most misunderstand about generative AI, is just because it can produce something that sounds like something it was trained on does not mean it's copying and pasting from that original work. The way these things work is, when the models are trained, the original data gets turned into all these bizarre mathematical fragments that live in thousand-dimensional mathematical space. The original works actually cease to exist. There's current law out that basically says that the act of training a large language model is what they call a transformative act. You're transforming in a significant way, in a material way, the original input document into something completely different. And therefore, if the training document was obtained legally, it is considered fair use. If you stole it, then it's not fair use. But if you bought a copy of this book and trained it into your model, because it's a materially transformative, it is it's considered fair use. So when Suno makes one of these songs, it's actually generating an original song that's never existed before. And so based on that, you can use these things for anything. Now, can you copyright them? That's a whole other thing. It depends. In his case, he wrote that song when he was 17. He can document that he wrote that song when he was 17. He's got a TikTok video where he plays it into the tool, and it takes that song that he wrote, and it basically just reproduces it. It produces it in a new and unique way, but it's his song, right? So he's got a chain of craft that he could probably take to the copyright office and say, yeah, this is my song. I put it in there. You could potentially do the same with lyrics. You could potentially do the same if you do 400 iterations of a song before the one that you publish and you track all that. So this is incredibly complicated, incredibly nuanced territory that I don't think is going to be settled for 20 or 30 years. So my thing is this: if you're working for, say, a big pharma company like I do at Storyvine, we need to be much more careful about what we use. I think for most people, for most use cases, don't worry about it. Just go make music and play. Let the lawyers figure this shit out. If you're trying to infringe on someone else's copywritten material, then you're going to get in trouble. But if you just want to use it as a regular creator, maybe not. Okay, Tik Tok Pin. The pin's not there because I was talking too much. So pop it back up there. But really good question. And fascinating times we live in. I still bill the 3 hours because my experience shaped the prompt. Yep. So that's interesting side hustle, Mimi. I think that the core business model of the advertising world is time and materials, right? How ad agencies, for the most part, make their money is by having 50 copywriters sit in a bullpen and write copy all day and charge $165, $250 an hour for it, right? That's their business model. We now have a tool that can just generate copy in seconds. You can do what's called value pricing, right? You can say, hey, client, you need, 50 TikTok ads in a time and materials model that would have cost you whatever, $50,000. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Because I've got professional copywriters and editors who are going to make sure that the content's still good, but now because we're using these AI tools, we can be more efficient. Rather than 50 grand, we'll charge you 35 grand. And then maybe instead of it costing, the agency 15 grand to get that 35 grand, maybe it only cost them 5 grand. So they can actually charge less and make more money. Most agencies right now are resisting that shift like the plague, which says to me there's a major opportunity to have a startup agency that can undercut traditional agencies and over deliver, undercut them on price, over deliver on output. See Slug of Doom. I need to get my new glasses. I thought the Chiron had changed to Kyle Shannon, comma, alligator. Oh, AI Learning Lab. Okay, wait, we've got results. Oh, wait, hang on, the one result is still going. The original prompt we did is still going. This was the one, what did I do? Oh, this was the Pharma research one. But the LinkedIn one is done. Okay, understood. I'll conduct a list on LinkedIn to identify pharmaceutical marketers. Worked for 20 minutes. Right? So here's what it did for 20 minutes. Right? Did all this stuff. Was on LinkedIn. It was cruising around LinkedIn. It wrote some code.
Did it switch to your tabs?
Oh, did it? It did not. That's rude. Anyway, okay, so it thought for 20 minutes. I compiled a list of pharma marketing leaders with companies' major launch brands. For example, Fierce Pharma reports that Vertex's blah, blah, blah triple therapy is one of 2025's most anticipated launch. All right, here's our spreadsheet. So let's go look at it and see if it gave us. Here's my prediction. So it thought for 20 minutes. Oops. Oh, this is better than I thought it would be. So let me get rid of people's real names here. So it found 4 people from Vertex, 2 people from Insmed, 4 from AstraZeneca, 5 from Daiichi Sankyo, some from GSK, and some from Sanofi. This is better than I thought it would be. My guess is that this would have found like 2 or 3 and been done. The fact that it found, what did it find here? 20. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. All right. Well, there you go. So that's how Agent works. You just turn the thing loose, it goes, does shit, and then, makes you a spreadsheet. Boom. Bing, bang, boom. Oh, and then this thing, no, this thing's still going. Okay. That one's doing the research. All right. It's still, oh, you know what? How video training is revolutionizing pharma. I have a feeling this hung. Which is one of the things it does, but maybe not. We'll just let it keep running. Desktop view. All right. The Chroma Awards in the Salon. Okay, hang on. So let me pop up the Salon address there, Brandon, if you'd be so kind. All right, so see that address right there? If you're not part of the AI Salon, so this live is brought to you by the AI Salon. The AI Salon is a community of about 3,000, more than 3,000 now, 3,100 AI optimists, people trying to figure this AI stuff out. If you're not a part of a community and you're trying to get your head around AI, it's going to be very lonely because everything's changing really fast. It's very hard to keep up with things. This is a really remarkable community. So sign up for this. If you go to community.thesalon.ai, that'll bring you here. You can learn about our cycle of AI readiness, play first, mindfully create, generously lead, what that all means, the 5 stages of AI adoption, our values. The second thing to do here is introduce yourself. So if you have not, go into the section called Introduce Yourself and introduce yourself. And by the way, here's another thing that I would love to do. We did this the other night. If you're an irregular here, do me a favor, go into Introduce Yourself in the Salon right now and just welcome people in and like give them a little hearty heart or an applause or respond to them. Because I know there's a bunch of new people in here, so that's really cool. Let's let some folks know that they are welcome to be here. Thumbs up, hearty hearts, things like that. So if you irregulars would go into the Introduce Yourself section and make people feel welcome, that would be swell. Okay, now Vicky has put something. Where did Vicky put her stuff? So Agent will do it, but the Plus account won't. No, Agent, you have access to Agent within the Plus account. Hey, Kyle, decided to pay for ChatGPT, but disappointed. Still must wait if images docs are involved. No, I don't know what that means, Darren. You should be able to generate images. You should be able to generate docs. You should be able to ingest docs, ingest images. If you're paying $20 a month for ChatGPT. Now, the only thing that's possible, Darren, is if you're doing it on mobile and you didn't download the official ChatGPT app, but you downloaded an app that's one of these um, uh, parasite apps that's not really from ChatGPT, it's possible you paid for something that's not an actual subscription to ChatGPT. Challenges and competitions. Okay, cool. So in the AI Salon, you've got start your adventure. So there's a little onboarding section here. In the community section, there's announcements and a show and tell area and learn out louds where you can teach things if you want to teach things. And then under latest news, there's challenges and competitions. And so the Chroma Awards are coming, free trials for a bunch of tools. Very cool. A film, music, and games competition to unite creators, communities, and companies around the world. If we go to the Chroma Awards, film, music, video, or games, very cool. A16Z, LTX Studio, Bolt, Kling, Open Art, Fairground, and Image Art. So the way these contests tend to work, I am sharing this. Oh, I'm not. The way these contests tend to work is they want you to create content that they're going to, give awards for and things like that. But they cut deals with these companies. 11 Labs, Free Pick, Fall, Dreamina AI, CapCut, A16Z, which is they're an investor, LTX Studio, Bolt, Kling, Open Art, Fairground, and Image Art. So you will likely get credits for all of these different companies if you apply for this contest. And if you're like, well, I don't know how to use any of those tools, let's go back to the AI Salon for a second. Let's go to the very first page you dropped into. And the very first graphic that you see after our welcome video is this. Play first. Play first. So if you're thinking that you don't have the skills, you don't have the talents to join this contest, bullshit. Go do it anyway. Becky Rue, who's in here, reminded me. I didn't realize that I did this to her, but when Becky Rue first joined the lives here, she made the mistake of commenting, "I'm too old to do this AI stuff," and I was like, "Bullshit! No, you're not." And then she went and played. So if you feel like you don't have the talent or you're not creative enough to go make a film or a music video or a game, guess again. You do. You just got to go play. So go join this and play. All right. Ann Murphy in the house. Ann Murphy, how does my voice sound? Huh? The new microphone. I'm all professional like. Sound good? So let me take you to another site. If you go to you can pop this up on screen too, Brandon. Are you ready for AI.com? Are you ready? Number 4, AI.com. It's going to take you to this beautifully designed website built by Vicky Baptiste, who also did the instructional design for the AI Readiness training program. So a couple of things to talk about here. Between Christmas and New Year's in 2024, we did this thing called AI Festivus, AI for the rest of us, where we brought in 34 speakers from 4 different communities. We had thousands of participants, and it was 24 hours of programming across 2 days. So 12 hours at night on Friday, 12 hours on Saturday in between Christmas and New Year's. We're going to do that again this year. But what happened was all of the people that came got so excited about the presentations. They're like, this needs to be turned into a training, because what happened last year that had never really happened before was every single presentation, even though they used AI tools, we're not training people how to use specific AI tools. Every single presentation was about the mindset of how they think about using tools, or how they think about privacy, or how they think about doing creative work when they're using AI. And so Anne and Vicky and I got together and, at the request of the community, put together the AI Readiness training program. which is not about tools, but it's about the mindset. So there are 5 different training modules within the AI Readiness Training Project. It's a really unique program and incredibly powerful. So if you want to elevate your AI skills, check this training out. It's robust. There's a lot here. All of the videos from AI Festivus are in here. They're sort of the source material that you learn from, and then we extracted out of them all of these universal ideas across 5 different sections, from business to creative to privacy and ethical use of AI to putting it all together in business. There's a bunch of different things. Really powerful. So go check that out if you haven't. Okay. Um. All right. Fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah. All right. What's happening, Ann Murphy? Anything going on? Anything else we should talk about? Oh, the other thing we should talk about is AI Festivus is happening again in 2025. So December 26th is a Friday. December 27th is a Saturday. So we're going to do the same thing again. It's going to be split over 2 days, 24 hours of programming. The one thing that we're going to do this year that we did different from last year is everyone was so excited last year to hang out after the event. We're going to have an official hangout area after the 24 hours. Anna and I are going to go to bed because we'll be hosting the damn thing. So we're going to go to bed, but you all are welcome to hang out. So we don't have the anything up and running just yet for you to sign up for it, but just save the dates of December 26th, December 27th, the Friday and Saturday between Christmas, Hanukkah, those kind of things, and New Year's is when it's going to happen. All right. Oh, yes. There is another thing. So one of the things Ann and I put together as a parallel initiative to the training program is we created the AI Readiness Project, which is a podcast where we interview people and we talk about how ready for AI are you, and what does that actually mean? And so if you go to aireadinessproject.com, or you go search for the AI Readiness Project on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. I think it's on Amazon Podcasts. Please go subscribe to your podcast delivery vehicle of choice and do whatever you do there. I think you subscribe to our podcast, but leave a review, listen to them. We just celebrated our 25th episode, which, if you've ever done a podcast, most podcasts die before they hit double digits. They die at 9, almost all of them. So the fact that we hit 25, I don't know. I'm a little proud. I don't know about you, Ann, but I'm a little proud. How do you feel about MIT saying 91% of initiatives are not meeting expectations? I'm surprised. I'm surprised that, I think it was 95%, not 91%. I'm surprised that many are successful. Here's okay. Almost all AI initiatives that big corporations are rolling out right now are being rolled out as IT initiatives where they like, okay, you got access to ChatGPT, go. And people are like, okay, well, what do I do with this? The people aren't being trained. These initiatives, the reason it makes sense for me to go live 5 nights a week here is because nobody knows exactly what to do with these tools, because we've never had capabilities like this before. One of the mistakes that big corporations are making right now is they're treating generative AI like they've treated historical AI, right? So, okay, we use Salesforce, we're going to add AI tools into it, and we're going to roll that out to all the people. That's a very specific vertical use case, where if you're doing a sort of vertical use case like that, where AI is amplifying an existing process, those are probably more successful because you know exactly how to do the process before. Now AI is making that a little bit easier. But if you just take generative AI as a general capability and you throw it at the organization, nobody knows what to do with it. Nobody knows how to use it. Nobody knows why to use it. What does success look like? So it is not surprising to me at all that these initiatives are failing. What the impact of an article like that are going to have this is fucking insane. We're going to just watch a rolling series of Kodak moments where big companies are going to start getting their asses handed to them by little startups. And what's going to happen is this. People are going to take that article and they're going to go, "Oh, AI was just a bubble. I told you it was just hype. It was just like NFTs and blockchain. It was just hype. We can ignore AI now." And so focus on AI in a lot of corporations is probably going to get pulled back. Now, what's going to happen is smart corporations that put together little pods of people to actually explore generative AI and figure out on a department by department basis what generative AI actually makes possible, and do things from the workers up rather than from IT down. Those companies are going to start to innovate and start to really leverage the shit out of AI. So I think what you're going to see is you're going to see a bifurcation starting this year, a bifurcation of companies that pull back on AI investment and those that invest more heavily into it and actually understand how to train their employees, how to roll these things out in a smart and ethical and intelligent way. And those two kind of companies are going to separate really quickly, because the ones that lean into it and really figure out how to use this stuff are going to start to amplify what they do. So that's where I think this goes. So I'm not surprised at all that article came out. You know, media companies are going to do sensational headlines like that. Most people are not going to read the articles, and they're going to completely mischaracterize why the success rate is so low, and it's not going to be good for them. So anyway, there you go. We won't consult with any org if they have us work with IT. That's Ann Murphy. So Ann Murphy is doing this on a regular basis. She's working with organizations to teach them how to use AI to think about it. And yeah, if you think about, think about AI like you think about the internet and the World Wide Web. When I started building websites in the mid 90s for big Fortune 500 companies, one of the very first things that we did as an agency was we would go in and we would wrestle the control of web development away from IT. Now, I'll tell you a really specific example of this. Coca-Cola put out this was, I think, 1996. They put out an RFP for an agency of record pitch for agencies that knew how to build websites. And so we got invited to pitch it. We took all of our best people. We're like, this is Coca-Cola. It's got to be polar bears and refreshing graphics, and we've got to figure this shit out, right? So we put together this really beautiful pitch. I probably have it here somewhere. We put together this really beautiful pitch. We went down to Atlanta. We're sitting in a room with about, 7 or 8 or 9 Coca-Cola executives and 7 or 8 or 9 of us. And, we're talking about what the web is and why it is and what we've done and things like that. And then we get to this slide. And what the slide was 2 screenshots. One was a screenshot of Coca-Cola.com and one was a screenshot of Coke.com. Both of those pages had been built by the IT department. One was light yellow with blue hyperlinks, and the hyperlinks went to all the annual reports in the history of the Coca-Cola Corporation. And the other one was a white page with black hyperlinks that went to, a other documents, some documents that IT thought were important. And our headline for that slide was, "Where are the polar bears?" The Coca-Cola executives stopped the meeting. they said, stop, we'll be back. They all left. They all walked out of the room. We're like, what the fuck did we do? What's going on? Are we getting fired? Like, are they going to ask us to leave? Are they getting security? What's happening? They had never seen their website. They had never gone to it. They've never looked at it. When they saw how their brand was being represented to the world, they absolutely flipped out. They walked back into the room after about 15 minutes and said, "Can you start Monday?" No one had ever shown them this before. So it's not that IT groups are bad or evil. It's that the World Wide Web and generative AI affect every single part of the organization, from marketing to operations to sales to product, all of it. And it's not just like an enabling, CRM that IT has to install and maintain. It's a completely new capability, and it's got to be thought about. I just got restricted. This is primarily directs people off the platform. This is in line. Whatever. I just appealed it. Whatever. Restriction. I want to hear more and talk about this forever. Yeah. So the thing is if IT is treating ChatGPT like it's Salesforce, it's not. It's a fundamentally different thing. Like, nobody knows how to use generative AI to run their business right now. Sure, you can do automations. You can use AI and something like Zapier or N8N to create an automation to make an existing workflow more efficient. You can do that. A lot of people are doing that. A lot of consultants are making money doing that. But that's using AI to do what you already know how to do. Generative AI lets you do things in completely new and fundamental ways that you can only discover through innovation and experimentation and play. And that's not the purview of IT. IT's there. Once we have something locked down, we're going to make it solid and more efficient. That's not the stage we're at with AI right now. We've got another decade to figure out how we use this stuff, how it impacts all the different areas of a business. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. The people side is so important. The people side's everything. Listen, these are large language models. These are not large programming models. They're not large engineering models. They're large language models. So how we interact with them is very different than how we've interacted with technology in the past. And so this is all about people skills and connecting and speaking and communicating, because one set of skills is how you interact with people. The other set of skills is how you take that language and you interact with large language models and get the best results out of them. They're very related, right? So there you go. There you go, people. You understand what I'm saying? All right. All right. Yeah. Let's go see if our other agent is still stuck. Still stuck. Yeah, this hung. This hung. Wait, maybe it didn't. What is share this tab? Here I am. This thing looks like it's still stuck here. I'm just going to say, where is my presentation? So remember before when I said this thing is janky and it might not work all the time? This is janky and it didn't work all the time. This one sort of worked. The one where someone asked me to go look at my LinkedIn and find, target prospects, that worked. This one did not. Okay, I'm still in the process of compiling research and crafting my presentation based on the latest cost-cutting trends. I'll focus on how these trends align with Storyvine's offerings once I've completed. So continue. All right. I guess we got it going back live again. All right. Whatever. Here's another thought I have on these agent things. Even if you go play with GenSpark or Manus, which are more capable than ChatGPTs, the reason ChatGPTs is significant is they've got 700 million weekly users. Now, of those, probably 37 are using ChatGPT deep enough to understand what agent is, right? It's like not a lot of people are using this right now, but relatively speaking. But as this tool becomes more transparent and more effective, people are going to have instant access to incredibly powerful tools. It looks like it's building us our deck now. The report has been created. All right, good. One of the biggest things I would caution against right now is don't dismiss any of these technologies because they suck right now. One of the things we always say in here is, these tools are as bad as they're ever going to be. The fact that this thing can go, like, look at my LinkedIn and find people and do that without me having to be there to do it. The fact that this can go do research and create a presentation for me, even if it's janky and even if it's a crap report, means that imagine what that's going to be like a year or two from now. So by playing and by exploring what these tools can do today, you'll be ready when these things get good. And when these things get good, you will occur to the rest of the world like a wizard. Because very few people know what's coming. Very few people know what's here. Even people that say, oh yeah, I use ChatGPT all the time. Do you know how many people, like on a weekly basis, tell me, oh yeah, I use AI all the time? And then I show them some simple thing within ChatGPT. They're like, oh, I didn't know it could do that. It's like regular all the time. So just keep coming back to these lives. Join the AI Salon. Hang out with people. Build relationships with people. Okay? Spin B3, dip time. Good night. Peace out. Spin B3. Try 3 months, not 2 years. Yeah, I know. I know. This stuff is moving too fast. All right, this is now successfully building us slides, which is cool. So we should have slides to look at here shortly. Worked for 3 minutes. Yeah, after it hung for an hour. All right, so there's our report. It looks like it's in a canvas. Report, comprehensive thing. Is this a canvas? Maybe not. Cost-cutting activity, industry context, shrinking margin and patent cliffs force restructuring. Merck's cancer drug Keytruda. Did you know Keytruda for Merck is 80% of their revenue? 80%. One drug. It's got like 46 indications, 46 different ways it can be used to battle cancer. But it's coming off patent. Pipeline prioritization, outsourcing, digital transformation and AI adoption, generative AI and analytics for efficiency, decentralized clinical trials, Implications for Storyvine, reducing marketing and comms cost, supporting decentralized clinical trials, scaling training and compliance programs, enhancing supply chain visibility, internal comms. Conclusion, there's that. Where's my presentation? Oh, here's my presentation. Look at this. Preview. Play slideshow. All right. So whoever asked about this before, what's an agent do? It went and did some research. Even though it hung and I had to kick it, we now have a deck. Now, is this deck any good? I don't know. Let's go look at it. One thing that I do know about ChatGPT's presentations is they're ugly as sin. They're just really bad visually. Cost-cutting drivers, key trends and operations, opportunities for Storyvine, go-to-market strategy. Why cost-cutting? Almost 60% of pharma executives plan to optimize operations and reduce costs, employing restructuring, offshoring, and layoffs. 60%. 6,000 jobs cut from Merck. Yep, that just happened. Moderna. So these are real. 10,000 out of Moderna. Biotech, 5,000. Generative AI and automation. Content cost reduction. Generative AI adoption yields up to 12% savings. AI could generate 60 to 110 billion annually. Content creation costs drop 30 to 50%, which is that's right where our company plays. Digital marketing of engagement. Video content retains 95% of a message. Text only 10. These are good numbers. 84% purchase conversions. 56% increase in ROI for video impressions. Digital training, decentralized trials. There's opportunities for Storyvine. Go-to-market strategy. Target the leaders, digital training. All right. Conclusions and next steps. Pilot Storyvine with marketing and training teams. Integrate into decentralized trial platforms. There you go. All right. Not great, but fine. Fine. There was some new and interesting stuff in there. All right, everybody. I'm getting a little tired. You having fun tonight? Hey, yeah. All right, let's see what we've got here. Any comments? Any thoughts? Questions? All right, everybody. I'm going to take my new fancy microphone to bed with me. Hello, little microphone. Homework for this weekend. Please, we don't need to hear that. Me touching the microphone. Yeah, the one thing I noticed about this microphone is it's got really bad if you touch it, like good microphones, if you touch them, you don't hear anything. This one's got really bad versions of that. No, you mean, oh, mic in bed. Yeah, great demo, Kyle. Thank you. Champion Irregulars. All right, let's go look at Champion Irregulars. Hey, did you all go connect with people, give them thumbs up, and respond to their introductions in the salon? If you didn't, please do. If you're an irregular, please go welcome some people in. Okay, the Irregulars channel. Let's go look at Irregulars. The Irregulars. Yeah, Champy's cousin. That does look like Champy. Although this is like the skinny version of Champy. Champy's face is squattier. But very cute. Oh, wait, I'm not sharing. Share this tab instead. Look how cute. Yeah. Nice. Nice. What brand is it? It is a Maono. The Maono 300 DX or 300X. Yeah. Maono 300X. And it came with a little swing arm. And I was going to get the 400X, but this is newer. So I got it. Yeah. Here you go. All right, people. TikTok question. Do you have a site we can check to learn about setting up agents? I do not. What I can tell you is, well, okay, setting up agents. I don't know what setting up agents means. One of the things that's happening right now is everyone is calling everything an agent. An agent might be like a chat bot that you interact with, like an agent like that. That people are calling those agents. People are calling automations agents, and then people are calling agentic tools agents. The only thing that are really agents are the agentic tools. So it depends what you mean by the question. None of the agentic tools, in my opinion, are really ready for prime time right now. They're all kind of in experimental mode. So what I would say is the four things I would recommend playing with are ChatGPT agent mode, GenSpark, Manus, Manus, and then the Perplexity Comet browser. If you can get access, I think it's not open beta right now, but it's in like invited beta. People who have access to it might be able to get you an invite code. Those are the four that I'd play with right now. There are probably a lot of other ones, but those are kind of the major ones that you can at least start to see the state of the art for agentic workflows, for fully automated things that are going out and using tools on your behalf. And then I would just say be patient about it. If you want to do things like build automations, there are lots and lots of courses and workshops, people offering that. And then if you're talking about agents where you're interacting either with voice or text or like a video call, those kind of agents, that's a whole different category. N8N has tutorial on their site. Yeah, a lot of them probably have tutorials. There's probably a lot of YouTube videos. Quite frankly, you can just use ChatGPT, put ChatGPT in voice mode, turn on the camera, and point it at your screen and have it give you instructions on how to set those things up. That might be a way to do it as well. Thank you for the suggestions. Love what you're doing. Very inspiring. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Very, very cool. Cool. All right. So it is the weekend. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I would continue, if I were you, I would continue to explore, start pushing all the buttons in ChatGPT. Let me actually share my screen and show you what I would play with over the weekend, other than my microphone. Okay. Sharing this tab. All right. So here we are in ChatGPT. First thing I would experiment with, if I were you, if you haven't done it yet, if you go to your settings and go to customize ChatGPT, this is what's called your custom instructions. You can play around with all of these things, but there's one little hidden in the middle of this is this little line right here. What personality should ChatGPT have? And if you click on this pull down menu, there's 5 choices: default, cynic, robot, listener, and nerd. Take the same prompt. So take a prompt that you've used before, or take a prompt where you're wanting to get a particular kind of answer. Use the same prompt, flipping into these different modes, and just look how it changes how ChatGPT responds. What you might find is that one of these personalities changes ChatGPT into something you absolutely love, where otherwise you might not have liked it, or vice versa. There might be one of these that you absolutely just hate it. Someone today told me they were like, why is ChatGPT being so mean to me? Oh, Dr. J, Claire was like, all of a sudden ChatGPT started being really terse and sort of snotty to her. She's like, what's going on? Does it not like me anymore? She had it set to robot, efficient and blunt, right? And she forgot to turn it off. So go play with those. That's a thing I'd experiment with. Then the other thing is, in your model chooser, the default mode is auto, right? And so what happens in auto mode when you interact with ChatGPT, it is deciding which of the different models to use. What I would do if I were you is manually switch into these different modes. And again, take the same prompt and apply it in different modes and see what answers you get. See the different kinds of answers you get. You can also, under legacy models, you can go back to GPT 4.0, which is how ChatGPT used to act. But then use GPT-5 Instant, GPT-5 Thinking Mini if you have it, GPT Thinking if you have it. They're very, very different models. My favorite right now is Thinking Mini. I don't know why. It's just I like the answers it gives me, and its creative writing ability is way better than GPT-5 Instant, which sucks. I think this model sucks. Thinking Mini is the one I like. But that's what I would do, is just keep playing and experimenting with GPT-5, because we're all trying to figure out how this works. What model are you using for your custom GPTs? I have not even touched my custom GPTs, Chef Kelly. I will probably flip them into, I'll probably leave most of them in GPT 4.0 mode if I can. And then I think there's a point at which they automatically flip over. I don't know which one I'll use. I might use Thinking Mini. I like that one better right now. I feel like their GPT-5 Instant, it feels like it must not be a, my guess is they have a better version of that model that's too big for them right now because they don't have enough GPUs. So I have a feeling that's a crappy model. So that thing may get better over the next couple of months, but right now it sucks. So I don't know. I haven't really thought about my custom GPTs. I can only pick GPT-5 Thinking, no Mini for me. Yeah, I honest to God don't know why. On one of my calls today, I had a couple of people on the call had access to Mini and some did not. I don't know why. Again, this is probably OpenAI doing stuff to manage their GPU usage, is my guess. We'll be back Monday. Tuesday, there's no AI Salon, so it's just a normal week next week. So have a great weekend, everyone, and I will see you Monday. All right? Have fun this weekend. Peace out.